Hello everyone, this is a video of things that have annoyed me in the near past. It's just me, saying my thoughts out loud on a few subjects that have caught my attention. We'll start with a less serious one at first. From The Independent, public school headmaster backtracks threats of expulsion for pupils found in relationships. Now, if you don't know, this was about the public school headmaster who sent out an email basically saying anyone caught in the relationship between, I think it was year 11 and between the years of like 9 and 11 or something, like people between the ages of 15 and 17, if they're caught in a relationship, they are going to have to find a new schools come September. So I think he had a few problems when he was younger and he's getting jealous of the people that don't have them, but that's just my guess. Anyway, the head teacher of a leading public school in Wales has come under fire for announcing his decision to expel pupils who have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Students, sorry. In a leaked email, Tony Belfield, the principal at the 34,500 a year Ruthyn School in North Wales, stated that he strongly disapproves of students engaging in romantic relationships as it distracts them from their studies. Now, I don't think he's entirely right about this. I never had a relationship when I was in high school, but the people I know who did, they didn't really get distracted from their studies, as far as I'm aware. Just spent a lot of their free time with their friends, their girlfriend or boyfriend, sorry. Whereas I would be at home playing games with my friends usually, but I don't think they got too distracted from their homework. They did really well, the people in relationships actually, but anyway, taking a serious stance, Belfield claimed that he would compile a list of students in relationships, and these students should expect to find new schools in September, as I've already said. It's just a bit mental. The article goes on about what else he put in the email, saying it'll affect uni references, he'll make them worse. Basically just spouting a load of bollocks, really, but he has now had to change his stance and said if a student was achieving top grades, i.e. predicted 4 or 5 A stars at A level, holy shit, then I will not hamper their chances of a university place by writing a less favourable reference due to them having a boy or girlfriend. Jesus Christ. So he's saying he's not going to hamper their chance of university if they get, to get an A star at A level, you have to get 90% at least on all exams, and they have to do that for 4 subjects. That's pretty incredibly difficult, if at all possible. I'm sure it is possible for some people, but it wasn't possible for me. But he continued, my email was a generic one to all students to try to dissuade them from being in a teenage relationship. He says school is not the place for romantic relationships, ever. I mean, maybe in his experience. Belfield has now announced that pupils at the Ruthyn School will not be summarily expelled for being in a relationship, which is better. Rather, they will be given the opportunity to review their current romantic situation. It is his belief that they and their parents will put their education first. Well, I don't know how accurate you'll be with that prediction, but I can't imagine myself, if I'm in a relationship at that age, I can't imagine putting my education over that person, but, we're all idiots at 15 to 17. This email provoked anger from parents who pay the costly yearly admission for their children to attend the 700-a-year-old Ruthyn School. Well, yeah, if you're paying that much, being in a relationship gets you kicked out. I'd be annoyed at that. Like, I can't even imagine making that type of money to live on, let alone to allow my kids to go to that type of school. But bloody hell, they get kicked out because they fall in love there. That's just ridiculous, in my opinion. He defended his original stance by claiming he was acting in the best interest of the parents and his students. I'm sure he thought that. I have no doubt he thought that. He stated, parents choose Ruthyn School because it is a top-ranking academic institution, obviously. And in my experience, students who are in a relationship whilst at school are at danger of academically underachieving. I don't know how true that is, but... Well, my opinion on this, it's a private school. He can do what he likes if, as a headmaster, assuming the Board of Governors agree with him. But personally, I'd let kids be kids, whether or not they are at a school that expects highly of their students. But I'm not headmaster of a school that expects highly of their students, so that's just my opinion. But that's the funny one out of the way, so we'll move on. The next article we're going to look at is from the Leicester Mercury, which is Labour Party withdraws subsidised tickets for minorities to see Jeremy Corbyn speak. This is about the £30 for BAME people. God, I fucking hate that acronym. And the £40 ticket for anyone who isn't BAME. So they've basically racially segregated the ticket prices, which, you know, is in no way fine. So people complained about it, and apparently Labour have backtracked on it, which is good to see, I guess. At least we're having less discrimination. But honestly, I'd rather they keep it, because I'd rather Labour just do as much as they can to kill themselves, essentially. But anyway, moving on. Labour has withdrawn its offer of discounted tickets for black and ethnic minority people to hear Jeremy Corbyn speak after concerns were raised with an equalities watchdog. The Conservatives complained to the Equalities and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, after BAME, Black and Minority Ethnics, I really do hate that acronym, activists were offered £30 tickets to hear Labour leaders speak in Loughborough, while other attendees were charged £40. Fucking ridiculous. The Tories say their tiered charging policy is racist and patronising to BAME, while Labour says it was simply subsidising tickets for its East Midlands Region Conference to encourage participants from underrepresented groups. It should be pointed out that the East Midlands does tend to have quite a high proportion of BAME people compared to the rest of the country, which isn't obviously a problem. It's just already having the conference in an area with more BAME people will probably increase your BAME participation. But, you know, they needed to add tiered pricing. I don't know why, but, well, I do know why, because they're racist pricks. But East Midlands Labour has now withdrawn the offer of discounted tickets, which is good. Good. I'm glad they're getting rid of racist policies. The Human Rights Committee told the Mercury charging people different rates because of their race is unlawful discrimination, unless it can be shown that this is a proportionate way of addressing low levels of participation. Well, how do you know that it's the prices that's stopping BAME people from going to these things? It's a bit ridiculous. We'll be writing to the Labour Party to ask them for their justification on this policy. Why not just lambast them for being racist, Human Rights Committee? They wouldn't be doing this if it was cheaper for white people, I can guarantee. An East Midlands Labour Party spokeswoman said, "The Labour Party is taking advantage on other ways we can increase the representation of BAME members at East Midlands Regional Conference in February. The intention behind the BAME Pass was to increase the representation of underrepresented groups, which remain a priority for the party." Why? Fucking who cares? I don't get things like that. Labour says none of its members have complained about the pricing structure and says the Tories and parts of the media are stirring up the issue for political reasons. Well, no shit. You're a political party. But it's racist. Racism is a political issue, as you keep saying, so of course it's got to be for political reasons. However, lawyer and Conservative activist Mukesh Basra from Leicester said, "It is offensive to offer cheaper tickets on the basis of skin colour, and it is patronising that Labour thinks BAME cannot afford to pay as much as white people." I think you should go on this on the basis of racism, to be quite honest. Not just saying it's offensive, because I don't really care if it's offensive or not. I just care that it's racist. And I don't care that it offends people, because I know people aren't going to care if things offend me, so I just don't base things on offence, because it's just not equally distributed or cared about, so just go on it on racism, you moron. But anyway, if they were concerned that people are being excluded, they should have offered a discount to people on low incomes rather than segregated people based on race. Yes, I agree with that. Conservative North West Leicestershire MP Andrew Brigden said, "It is disappointing Labour have been forced kicking and screaming to remove the discriminatory surcharge. It was setting a very dangerous precedent, insulting the white working class and patronising ethnic minorities." Both true. But why can't you just say it's racist? Oh, you did. Oh, you said it's discriminatory, actually. Never mind. He said he wanted assurances the pricing structure would not be repeated. That's fair. I agree with him. Conservative East Midlands Region Chairman Lee Higgins said, while Labour patronise people with a tenner, the Conservatives have given 1,000+ income tax cuts to millions of people. Probably, I don't know how true that is. I haven't kept up with their policies, to be honest. Clearly, I do have to wonder why some people would then pay £40 to see Jeremy Corbyn. Because he's a demagogue. He's saying what we all want to hear. Oh god, it was the most annoying thing at uni just to hear everyone say he's giving us free tuition. It's like, it's not going to work, and no, he isn't. Anyway, Hermant Ray Batia, I cannot pronounce these names today, a Labour councillor from Beaumont-les, says, we in the region are simply trying to bring inclusivity and wider participation of BAME into the mainstream with our good intentions and efforts here. Who cares how many BAME people there are? I don't understand. It's so weird. It's like tokenism gone too far. Look, we're the party for black people. We're the party for Asians. Like, it's just so weird to me. I just don't get it. A statement from Labour BAME said, as an affiliate organisation with the Labour Party, we support any action that aims to increase BAME membership engagement and support the East Midlands Regional Board's decision to subsidise part of the cost of the year's conference pass for BAME members. Yes, of course you do. If you're in Labour, you can't say you're against something Jeremy Corbyn does. That gets a brick thrown through your window by Momentum. We reject Tory MP suggestion that the Labour Party is abandoning white working class people. Well, if you're making them pay more than rich black people, let's say, that's pretty abandoning to me. But, well, if you're the politician, oh god, I just fucking hate the Labour Party, to be honest. Anyway, we'll move on to the main part of this that I really wanted to get to. Altrincham Grammar School for Girls ban on calling pupils girls because it's hurtful to transgender people. Now, the reason I wanted to save this till last is because this is actually a local school to me. This is quite close to me. I know people that actually went to this school, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know people that still go there, but I'm sure they're not happy about it. So, a Trafford girls' school has banned pupils from being called girls. Altrincham Grammar School for Girls, one of the best schools in the country, says from now on, staff and pupils will use gender-neutral language. In a letter to parents, Principal Stephanie Gill said the term girls will no longer be used when addressing students to break ingrained habits in the way pupils are spoken to and spoken about. Ms. Gill said using the term could result in transgender pupils from being misgendered. I'm sorry, did she just get called Ms. Gill? Is she okay with that? Do we know? Jesus. When asked by Manchester Evening News what prompted the move, a spokesperson said it was in response to training and the school's understanding of the challenges facing students who are questioning their gender identity or do not identify as girls. Pupils are now likely to be addressed as students instead. Why not just call them robots? Jesus Christ. It is understood that 1,350 pupil school has no plans to drop the term girls from its name. What's the bloody... Oh, Jesus Christ. So, I'm going to go to Altrincham Grammar School for Girls. Okay, what are the teachers calling you? Oh, they're not allowed to call me girls. That'd be offensive. But you're going to an all-girls school with girls in its name. Like, oh my god, this is so stupid. The principal's letter read, we have moved to using gender-neutral language in all our communications with students and parents. We know that for many transgender students, being misgendered can be very hurtful. I mean, I know it's a school's duty to, like, make things as comfortable a learning environment as possible. But this, I get the feeling this would make people uncomfortable. Like, most people, I mean. Because, like, I don't want to just be referred to as a student. I went to a mixed school, and I think the boys and girls were fairly happy with being differentiated. Then again, I don't know a single transgender person to come out of our school. Probably because it was private. But who knows? Yet the move has been met with some hostility from parents of youngsters at the school. No, no, duh. The change was branded potty by one parent who said that they thought the letter was a joke when it arrived. Yeah, I thought this was a joke, to be honest. One parent who asked not to be named said that they were left stunned by the policy changed. When I opened the letter, I wasn't sure if it was a joke or not, they said. Unbelievable. We are not even sure how many girls there are having issues with their gender. It could be there's none, and I think it's none, to be quite honest with you. If you're having issues with your gender, do you really want to go out your way to compel everyone's speech? It just doesn't make any sense. It all seems a bit potty to me. They are talking about diversity, but it's a girls-only school. How does that work? Well, exactly. A statement issued by the school said, "It's important our students feel comfortable and able to bring their true selves to the learning environment." I can sympathise with that slightly, but again, you're making the comfort of maybe 1 in a million people to ruin the comfort of probably a lot more than that. Because I can't imagine I'm being comfortable being called. I don't mind being called students, but if like someone's referring to me, they'll say, "Oh, this student." It's like, yeah, that's fine, but it's like these boys or these students. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't bother me too much, but I can imagine it bothering people. To be honest, as I can imagine being misgendered can be annoying, but you can't compel people to do it. Anyway. We welcome and celebrate diversity at our school, and we will look at any measure, however small, to ensure the well-being of our staff and students. Yes, of course you will. The school, which first opened its doors in 1910, educates 1,350 girls and was oh God, you call them girls, and was recently crowned the best state school in northwest England. Well, good for my little town. It is one of the highest achieving schools in England, and all its students were awarded A-star to C grades in the last years of GCSE exams. Wow, it's like calling them girls doesn't affect them in the past. Its results saw it named 6th best state school in the country, according to the Sunday Times Schools Guide. Now, people constantly ask me, whenever I've talked about this with a few people, and they all say, "Why do you care?" Well, there's a good reason why I care. The reason this has happened is because maybe one person who will be transgender has come up and said, "Hey, look, being called a girl at school really confused me, and I feel offended by it. Can you please stop doing it to other people? I'm not there anymore, but can you stop doing it to other people? Because it might affect 1 in a million people." And they've just complied to it. There doesn't seem to be any pushback, and a lot of parents are having a go at it. And alright, this doesn't affect me directly, not yet anyway. I could have a girl one day and send her to this school, and I don't want this shit put on her. And the thing is, it won't end here, will it? This is one small victory. What they've done is given this girl an inch. Well, not this girl. Whoever it would be a man now, probably. But whoever this is, they've given her an inch. And I imagine that she's going to complain that she didn't get a mile. And she's going to keep complaining I'm just going to keep complaining about not having a mile until eventually this is written into law. A lot like it is a lot like what's going on with Canada with Jordan Peterson. And this is the thing: if I was a parent of that school, I'd write a letter saying no, don't do this. I refuse to comply with this rule. I'm going to call the people at this school girls, and there's probably nothing the school can actually do about that. But if my little girl came home from this school saying, "Oh, I can't refer to anyone as girls," I'd tell them to ignore it. And if there's threat of expulsion for it, well, fine, expel her. I'd encourage her, if she... What I mean is, I wouldn't encourage her to go against this ruling. I'd say, do what you feel like, but I would... I would encourage you to keep doing what you feel like, because odds of you offending someone is nil. And if you are offending someone, and they tell you you're offending them, and they politely ask you to do something else to stop offending them, I'd obviously encourage her to do that. But I'm not going to tell her to comply with this stupid rule that God knows who's brought it about. But again, this isn't just going to end here, and this is why I have a massive problem with it. It's eventually going to try and get written into the law if these things keep building up. So why not just stop it at the beginning here? I might actually write a letter to this school, I don't know. There's a comment here from Paul Boyle, and I completely agree with him. All this gender neutral equality is an absolute load of bollocks. Never heard so much rubbish in my life. Absolute joke. I'm with you, Paul. I'm with you.